It looks like we're about to go racing now. We're on board with Mike. And the lights go out and we're underway here at Nurburgring for round 5 of the Clio Cup for for season 11. And it looks like Ryan got a good start. He's up to 2nd. Cobb didn't get a good start. He's down to 5th. Looks like everyone's going to get through into turn 1 safely this time. And he's just taking the wide line in 3rd at the moment. And everyone's through turn 1 safely, which is what we like to see. Mike looking to get away with a really good start. Ryan's trying to keep up with him. Oh, Ryan's got off in the infield. Heading down towards turn 3. It is slightly off camera. And on the brakes, these little radio clears are front wheel drive, so that's where he's had his issue there. As they head down towards the turn off to head onto the sprint circuit now. It's quite a tight little piece of track there. So going too wide through there might be a slight issue for some drivers. And we've got Grandad Steve is looks like he's had an issue in that first half a lap there. He's 9 seconds behind the leader, and it's not something we'd usually see from Grandad Steve. He's usually battling for the lead, as we saw at Long Beach. He was in 2nd for quite a while. So out in front we've got Mike, and then we've got 3 drivers trying to chase him down. Andy, John Boy and Cobb all looking to gain as many points as they can this evening for this championship battle. John Boy going for the inside on Andy into the last corner. Chooses to think otherwise. They've still got 18 minutes of racing, so these 3 can work together and bring Mike back down. Now that the pack is all spaced out, they all know I can relax. Let's get to work. Mike runs wide out of turn 1, trying to use all the track he can. Just to try and get as much power out of these little cars. And let's jump on board with Cobb and see what's going on from his perspective. As he heads through turn 3, John Boy getting a little bit loose there. He's going to lose some time as we hear Cobb come off the power. And Cobb's wide out of turn 4. And their closest driver behind is Charlie Goff. He's 2 seconds further back. John Boy getting slightly sideways there. Cobb had to slam on the brakes. That gap's open to 6/10 between himself and John Boy now. Just due to the inconsistent pace between these 3 drivers. Some of them might, the likes of Andy, might not know the difference was the way that John Boy and Cobb might drive, so he might be braking earlier trying to get the power on, whereas John Boy might want to brake later and get the power on later. So we'll have to see if these 3 drivers can work together. That gap's slowly coming down, with the gap being nearly 2 seconds last time around. It's gone down a couple of tenths. And then further back we've got Charlie with Matt, Ryan, Ozzy and Connor all in a train trying to work together to get back. It looks like Matt's trying to make a move on Ryan as they head down the home straight. Matt's going to be on the inside. I think Ryan's just going to have to drop him behind and give him this position this time. Oh, Ryan doesn't want to do so. A touch of doors there, and Ryan manages to keep the position. It looks like Ozzy might even get up the inside of Matt now as they head down towards turn 3. He thinks better of it. There wasn't enough space there for him. So back to your race leader, Mike, heading on to the sprint turn off now. As you can see, he's just optimising all the track. Putting as much power down on the circuit as he can. There's that gap now down to 1.2 seconds. And they run a little bit wide there onto the shale as they head down to this long straight. This is what's going to come into play for these boys. They've got the slipstream and Mike hasn't, and this gap I think will come down. I don't know about the drivers behind because that gap's now out to 7 seconds, as we can see Charlie there side by side with Ryan as they come up to the chicane. Charlie's going to have the inside line and be able to defend. But Ryan just managing to make everything work this evening. He doesn't have the power out of the corner, but he's still there. You can see the lap time between these boys that are battling is starting to drop now. They're down to 140.7s with your race leader doing 138.5, so they're 2 seconds a lap quicker. And back to the action, we're 3 wide into turn 1 between Matt, Charlie and Ryan. As Ryan's the one that gets slightly wide there out of turn 1, but he's going to have the inside through turn 2, and he moves up to 5th position. So that gap between your leader now has gone down below that 1 second. So these boys are going to be in his slipstream. It is Andy and John Boy, the chasing force with Cobb. Cobb looks to have dropped off the pace slightly this evening. Or is he trying to save tyres, knowing that he's got 13 minutes left of this race? And knowing that the boys in front are going to start battling and start pushing. He might be playing this one sensible. But back to where all the action seems to be at the minute. I think that's Ozzy trying to go on the inside, is he? No one even thinks better of it. So across the line to start lap 5 now, your race leader has a gap of pretty much nothing now, so we've got 3 drivers with your race leader now. Well, 3 drivers including the race leader, is he? Mike locks up on the brakes into turn 1. And Andy hugging that inside, heading through turn 2. Will he make a move into turn 3 is the question, and it doesn't look like he's got the time or space. I think these boys are just going to be happy to drive around together for now. Try and increase that gap over Ryan, Charlie and Matt. We're 9 seconds back now. It's good to see Grandad Steve's managed to collect himself. He's just at the bottom of your picture there. He's up to 10th now with this chasing group, so he might be in 10th, but he can soon get himself up to 5th. There's only a 3-second gap between 10th and 5th. It looks like he might be looking to make a move into the chicane. And then he's looking on the inside of the last corner. Thinks better of it. Knows he can probably get a good drive down towards turn 1 using the slipstream. So through turn 1 now, Mike still the race leader with Andy and John Boy just sitting behind. It looks like that gap slightly got out a little bit more. But Mike's trying to open that gap back up. Ryan's still the charging force in this large group further back, with Charlie glued to the back of his bumper at the moment. So it looks like he might. Oh, he was looking then for a move on the inside through turn 5. And Charlie there with his headlights all over the back of Ryan. I'm sure Ryan's aware that he's there with those headlights beaming. So I'm back up the front. It is as it was really. Mike has been Mr. Consistent this season. He's always been there or thereabouts. and he's showing so this evening. We're on to lap 7. All lap 7s, all laps he's led at the moment. John Will looks like he's trying to make a move on the inside, heading down towards turn 1. He thinks now is the pouncing time. We're halfway through the race. As he runs slightly wide out of turn 1, is he going to be able to get himself going into turn 2? And he does. So he's going to try and catch back up to Mike now. I think that gap between himself and Cobb's just going out slightly, unfortunately. Although once these boys start battling towards the end of the race, we might see Cobb come back. So further back, it's still Ryan, Charlie, Matt, Ozzy. Steve's managed to move up to 9th with Connor rounding up the top 10. Deku's managed to move up to 11th with Poddy Pubert unfortunately down in 12th. And that Spooky Devil there, and it looks like he's got quite a bit of damage to that front end. He's in 30th, just trying to drive around at the moment, get as many points as he can for the championship. Mike there looks like he's really pushing now as he's touching the curbs, bouncing off them if anything. As he heads towards the last corner now, he knows John Boy's in the fight for the championship, and he definitely knows he doesn't want him to beat him. So that lap time was a 1:37.6 there from John Boy. I think that was the fastest lap of the race, if anything. Let's try and have a look at that. And it was correct, yes. The fastest lap of the race at the moment, going with John Boy. As he's managed to close that gap down between himself and the race leader. So Ryan and Charlie look like they're pulling a gap out on Ozzy Elby and Matt, as Matt's on the inside there of Ozzy Elby. Looks like he might move up a spot as they head through turn 3. Ozzy Elby coming back into turn 4. He's having none of it. There's a little touch there of the wheels. And Will might get the run down towards turn 6. And it looks like he has, so he's managed to block off Ozzy. He runs a little bit wide. Ozzy's looking for that inside through the hairpin. And he manages to get it done, I think. Or are they going to be side by side into this left-hander? And that's a brilliant bit of racing there from these pair. So through the chicane once again. It'll be interesting to see what sort of lap times these three are doing this time. Across the line. So Mike answers back with a 1:37.6, and I think that's again the fastest lap of the race there. So Mike, the new fastest lap sitter. Since John Boy has managed to overtake Andy, the pace has been lifted between these three boys. As you can see, the gap between your race leader and 5th is now up to 14 seconds as they head through turn 1 now. And Charlie's managed to get the move done on Ryan there by the looks of it, so he thinks now's the time to pounce with only 6 minutes to go in this race. Ryan might be looking for the inside down into turn 3, and he hasn't got the space, nor was he close enough that time. He's definitely trying to eye up some spots to make the move though. He's managed to get up to 7th now, so he's managed to get past that traffic behind him. He'll be looking to close down that 4-second gap between himself and Ryan and Charlie. And we've got a three-way battle now instead of Ozzy and Matt. Connor's managed to join in between these boys, so if these boys start battling, Connor might move himself up a few spots. And let's jump on board with Connor. I know we've got some fans in the comments for Connor. So let's jump on board and see what he's seeing from his perspective of these two little Clios in front of him. As you can see, that drafting coming into effect there. He's being sucked closer to these bumpers. as we're side by side. He doesn't know where to go at the moment as we head down towards the chicane for the end of lap 10. Nice and early on the brakes there. He might be able to get the run on someone on the exit. And he just drops in behind as these three head down towards the last corner now. He's got a healthy gap at the moment over Deku. That gap 4 seconds as they cross the line. So back at the front, it looks like Andy's just moved up on John Boy. John Boy trying to get the run to get back through on Andy as they head down towards the turn off for the sprint circuit. He backs out of that one this time, and it just looks like Cobb hasn't got the minerals this evening. Cobb's 5.5 seconds back compared to his pace in qualifying. I just don't know what it is, whether it's because he's lost that and missed the slipstream or had a couple of mistakes. We'll have to find out after this race and see from the man himself what his thoughts were, whether he's going to change anything heading into the future race. But these boys are all setting consistently the same sort of laps, 1:37s at the moment. They're all in the same slipstream and they're all driving well together. Matt looks like he's trying to pull away from himself and Ozzy and Connor at the moment to get 8th position. 3.5 minutes to go in this sprint race for round 5 of the season, ladies and gentlemen. If you do like what you're seeing and would like to join in, please head over to motiveracing.com where you can find out more. Get yourself signed up, join the Discord, join the community, have a laugh, meet some brilliant friends, and most of all, get yourself racing here on Project Cars 2. We also have the Touring Car Championship on a Thursday evening. This being round 5 of the season, obviously we've only got next week to go, and then we will have a small gap. It looks like Ryan's headed for the pit, so disaster there for Ryan as he's in the pit lane when pretty much he shouldn't be. So I don't know if he's got damage or what's happened to him there, but he's going to drop way down the order. He might even move down to the last, unfortunately for him, and it does look like he's just died in front of Smokey, as we can see Smokey come across the line there. So 2.5 minutes to go now. It is time for these boys to start battling if they can close down that gap between themselves and Mike. Mike looks like he's trying to strike at the moment. He's got that 1 second gap between himself, Andy and John Boy. And let's see what John Boy's looking at from his bumper camera as they head down to the chicane. Hard on the brakes, down 2 gears. Try and not get 2 wheels in the air to keep that grip as they exit towards the last corner. I think it's going to be crucial to get a good run down towards turn 1 this time. It looks like we're going to have 2 laps of racing left for the sprint race this evening. I don't think he's going to be close enough to do anything into turn 1. But Andy there just showed his face as we had the cars bottom out there. That's how steep it is here at the Nurburgring. Heading through turn 2, you can really see how fast and how much these boys are pushing these cars this evening. Andy there just locking up through turn 3, manages to keep it in one straight line though. And the race leader about to come under some pressure, but he's been here before this season and I'm sure he'll try his best not to crack. I'm sure these boys will know that the gap to the drivers behind. Cobb's 7 seconds back and then Charlie's 21, so they know they can start battling and not come under pressure from anyone else. But let us know in the comments who you think is going to take the victory in the sprint race this evening. Is it going to be Mike? Is it going to be Andy? Is it going to be John Boy? Who do you think is going to win as we're about to head on to the last lap? And it looks like Andy there trying to get a really good run out of the chicane. He knows he must have just been a little trial there for himself just to get a really good run for the last lap. And Mike going defensive now on the home straight, knowing that these boys have caught up. doesn't want anyone to do anything. He's swerving all over the track. I'm sure there's a rule against that, but it's these little Renault Clios. I'm sure anything can go. John Boy looking on the inside there, down to turn 1. Andy going around the outside. Now that's going to give him the inside into turn 2. I don't think Mike realised that, but he's going to have to drop down maybe 2 positions. He might drop down to the back because John Boy's following Andy down towards turn 2 now. So he will have the inside as well. And Mike trying to use all the track and all the grip he's got to stay in second position to give him as much chance as possible to take the victory this evening. They're going to turn right shortly and head through that sprint shortcut. Andy a little bit wide there. Is he going to be able to clip the apex and get himself around? And he does so. And Mike now just thinking, where can I get back past Andy? Where can I do this? As Andy just trying to hit his lines perfect. Get on the power earlier than he has before. Brake later than he has before. And get himself around for the victory in this sprint race here at Motive Racing this evening. So he's looking in his mirrors now. Who's slipstreaming? Where are they? Where are they? Mike's on the track, off the track, trying to get past. John Boy's on the outside. We're 3 wide into the chicane. Mike manages to get it done. Andy's on the inside. Who's going to be first into the last corner? John Boy comes through the middle. I think John Boy's going to be on the inside into the last corner. Mike taking the outside, trying to get a good drive. We're going to be side by side out of the last corner. Who's going to take the victory? And I think it's going to be John Boy. And it is John Boy. John Boy takes a victory there. What a drive John Boy got through that chicane to come flying through. And well done to Andy and Mike. Both had a really safe race there. Cobb comes across the line to take 4th. Grandad Steam manages to get himself into the top 5, so there might have been a bit of drama there in the last couple of laps between Charlie and Matt. And Ozzy finishes 8th, Deku in 9th, Party Pooper in 11th, and Connor comes in with Connor in 11th, Ryan in 12th, and Smokey Devil just driving around with that damage. He comes home in 13th, so some good points there for Smokey. Well done, pal. So let's get your podium drivers in to have a chat now. So there you can see, ladies and gentlemen, your official results for this evening's sprint race of round 5 of the Clio Cup here at Nurburgring. John Boy takes the victory behind Mike by less than, well, half a tenth of a second. There we go. And here we have got your sprint race of round 5. So we heard John Boy was just saying that he was... Oh, and we've got Andy in the commentary booth as well now, so I'm sure everyone at home can hear him.
Hello.
We couldn't hear John Boy then, so he's just gone to sort his settings out. What a phenomenal race that was, Andy.
Yeah, that was pretty close battle. Kind of a bit gutted to have lost it right at the end. I just had Mike looking down my inside coming up to the chicane. I gave him a car's width there and he went onto the grass and just sort of squeezed through. I gave him the space. I cut the last chicane. That's why I backed out of it, because I felt quite bad about sort of getting the position, cutting the last chicane, even though I kind of had no choice but to go straight on. But yeah, I felt a little bit guilty about gaining a position, so I backed out of it, let them both pass and dropped to P3. It's a big gutting, but that was an awesome battle. You know, if there's going to be an advert for this league, for Motive, what we got here in the Clios and the touring cars, I think that's it. It was just really close, clean, fast pace, and exciting from start to finish, really.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you take the race lead from the outside. It's not very often you can say that, but heading on towards turn 1, Mike was trying to defend on the inside. Was that something you'll be looking to do, and how to overtake in the future race? Obviously, starting towards the back.
Yeah, well, that move had been sort of scripted all the way down the straight, because Mike was doing a little bit of weaving, and I started to realise that the amount of weaving that he was doing was actually slowing him down. Yeah. So I just thought, right, keep it straight, go around the outside, I knew that I'd have to grip around the outside because that corner is an extremely wide turn one, so you can carry the speed around the outside quite easily. So instead of worrying about what he was doing, I thought, right, I'm just going to focus on sticking to this outside line, taking as much speed as I can, getting on the throttle as early as possible, and I was just waiting as I exited the corner, just looked at the timing screen and saw that I was P1 and thought, right, I've got the inside for turn two, that should be job done. And then from there, he just stayed on me, attacked me all the way through the last lap, and unfortunately couldn't hold it. But I did enjoy that move. I'd say that's probably, I'd say it's up there, probably my top five overtakes. I'd say I was pretty chuffed with it. I gutted I couldn't make it stick.
Yeah, I mean it's something you can reflect on and improve for this future race.
For sure, yeah, just be a bit more clinical. Because I do like, I'd say. I do like these Clios. I'd say the touring cars, the Renault Megane's probably my favourite car to drive, but I do enjoy these, and I just need to be a bit more. I'd say, yeah, I just need to make sure I finish the job a bit better in the next one. Just try and make the most of the opportunities that are handed to me, because that was a bit frustrating. But then again, it was good racing. I can't really complain. P3. I've joined this championship late in the season. So yeah, I'll take it, definitely.
Yeah, well, best of luck for the future race. Hopefully we'll chat to you again afterwards, Andy.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
So the usual commentator Andy joins us in the commentary booth there, as our drivers are just practicing at the moment. We're on board with Charlie Goff. Right, so we're about to get underway here for the feature race. Smoky Devil is going to be the driver to put the pedal to the metal first as he heads out of the last corner. I think he's underway. There we go, we're underway. I was about to say I don't think he'll be leading into turn one, but he's got an absolutely brilliant drive there. As you can see, drivers there in the back of the picture trying to make their moves early on. Smoky Devil late on the brakes there. Is he going to be able to get it round? And he does. And he's got Mike on the inside heading through turn one, and he runs slightly wide. John Boy might get the move done. And he had nowhere to go as they head through turn two for the first time. It is still Smoky Devil leading the way, with Ryan putting him under some pressure at the moment. Ryan pushing the limits of that little Renault Clio as the back end steps out. Party Poopers side by side on the inside there of Connor. Manages to get the move done. The question is, are we going to see anyone ahead for an early pit stop? Oh, and Potty Pooper's on two wheels through the left, right. Manages to collect himself and stay in front of Connor at the moment. We've got someone wide in the background there. I think that was Matt. Sorry, no, it's Charlie. Charlie, sorry. Looks like Grenade Steam might have the run on him down towards the chicane. He's going to be on the inside. I think Charlie's going to have to let him have that position, and he does. I'd really like to see Cobb find where he's lost that pace as Cobb heads for an early pit stop. He's the only driver at the minute heading for the pit lane. So is that a bad decision there for Cobb, or is it going to pay off? So as they head on to the second lap, now it's Ryan that's leading the way. He's managed to get past Smoky Devil. And Smoky taking a tight line there through turn one. Down to everyone else. And Party Pooper manages to get over the inside into turn two of Smoky. And I think that's Connor as well trying to get past him. Matt sat in fifth at the moment with Deku behind. Ozzy LB in seventh. Charlie eighth, Grenadstein ninth. John Boy trying to defend off Andy. Mike's got a slight gap between himself and Andy. Looks like he's struggling there, Mike does at the moment. It's not very often I can say that. And Ryan's starting to pull a gap on these boys behind that are battling. So Ryan will be saying, yes, keep battling, come on, I want to get this gap out. Saw a couple of mistakes from Ryan in the sprint race, so I hope he's managed to rectify those in the practice and just work out where he needs to be on the power and off the power. You can see a couple more drivers heading for the pit lane. Oh, and one manages to do a little I'm going in and I'm not going in, and it was Charlie that's heading for the pit lane now. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out in comparison to Cobb. So let's get on the map. As you can see, Cobb there heading up towards the chicane. So he's around 25 seconds a lap slower when you do your pit stop. That's right. It'll be a bit more, is it? So has Charlie stopped? Yeah, Charlie's back underway now. I think he's gained time on Cobb. He's gained time because he was in that slipstream. I think that's where he's gained his time. So unfortunately, I have to say, I think Cobb's made the wrong decision to pit early this evening, just due to being in that slipstream train. You're going to be setting fast laps. But if these boys can get their head down and work together, I might have to swallow my words and give it to these boys. But Ryan's now got a 3-second gap over everyone else behind. As we can see the battling going on with 3-4 wide in the background there, as this large group heads through the chicane. Deku currently sat in 4th, trying to defend himself from Aussie LB. As they cross the line now. And let's see, your sprint race winner is up to 7th position, as he's got Grandad Steel on the inside. And it looks like he's going to try and go around the outside and be on the inside for turn 2. And it doesn't look like he's going to get it done this time. I want to say that, but he's on the inside. Is he going to be on the inside for turn 3? Nope. He has to back out of that one. And he's got Andy in close contact again here for the feature race. And all these drivers are bunching up now. It's only going to help out Ryan out in front, who's currently got a 3.4 second gap. So it's party people leading this group of drivers through the chicane. This group of drivers being 7 drivers at the moment, as I think that was Mike's heading for the pit lane now, so he thinks this is beginning to slow me down. I'm going to head for the pit lane now. So let's get up the map again and see in comparison where he's going to come out on Charlie and Cobb as they head through the chicane. So Cobb did a 1:38 last time around. He was 1 second quicker than the race leader as they come through the last corner. Is Mike moving yet? And he's back on the way. So the more drivers these boys get, the more it's going to help things for themselves. And 1:39.5, they're matching the pace of the race leader. Let's see where Mike is. And Mike's dropped in behind them, so Mike was right to get in the pit lane now because he's dropped behind these pair. But it is still Ryan leading the way. as he heads towards the chicane again. And squabbling out behind, you've got Party Pooper, Smokey, Ozzy, Grandad, and John Boy, and then a slight gap between Andy and Deco side by side now heading up towards the chicane. I think Andy's going to have to back out of this one as he's on the outside. I say that, but he's looking for the inside into the chicane still. Is Deco going to give him space? And he does. And then Andy manages to get the move done, moving up to 7th. That was a lovely move there. So I think that is Matt heading for the pit lane now for his mandatory pit stop. We've got in there as well John Boy, Party Pooper. So 3 drivers heading for the pit lane this time. Grenade Steep up the inside of Ozzy. I'll be there. Grenade Steep trying to block anything off from Ozzy LB. Now he's got the move done. He doesn't want Ozzy to come back at him. He knows how hard it is to overtake around here in these little cars, as he's trying to catch up to Smokey Devil. And let's see where your provisional drivers are that have pitted. So I think it's... There we go, it's Mike. John Boy, there we go. John Boy's your current provisional race leader. And Ryan now in the pit lane. Oh, and he's got a speeding penalty. So he's not going to be very happy with that as he heads to his pit crew. And Smokey in as well. With Grandad Steve taking the provisional lead. He's coming under pressure still from Ozzy Albi though. And across the line comes John Boy, showing his pace this evening. With Mike there trying to make a move on Party Pooper, knowing he's going to be the one to watch this evening is John Boy. Oh, and a slight bump there from John Boy on Smokey Devil as he didn't see him on the exit of turn 1. He says, I apologise, and lets Smokey Devil back up the inside. It only lets Mike back to him though. So it looks like we've got a 4-way car battle. Mike trying to go up the inside as they head towards the turn off onto the sprint circuit. There's surely no space there for Mike, and he manages to get the move done somehow. But he's going to be on the outside through this left-hander. Oh, and he's off the track there. Pulls back on, and surely he should give the position back to John Boy after that. But and he's in the pit lane now for his mandatory stop as well. Will he come out in front of this battle? We'll wait and find out. And Party Pooper just sat there comfortably behind. Mike's run wide at the chicane. And he's off in the gravel. So he's going to be losing out points massively this evening if he doesn't manage to get back going and get up to these boys. So where's Andy? Andy's back going now. And Charlie's still driving around with Cobb at the moment. Trying to catch up to this group in front that have made their pit stops. And Rain still out in front is your provisional race leader, but he has got a 10-second speeding infringement, unfortunately. So it is John Boy, Smokey Devil, Andy, Party Pooper, Charlie, and Cobb in this really big group. I mean, any one of these could win this. So he's across the line now to start lap 9. Grandad Steve out in front at the moment with, well, he's starting to gap Aussie Albeit now. And he's lapping around the same as the drivers behind, so we'll have to see whereabouts he comes out after his pit stop. Cobb looks like he's trying to make a move there on Charlie as they head onto the turn off for the sprint circuit. Manages to get it done nicely. And we've got Aussie Elby in the pits now for his stop. So there's only Grandad Steve left out there that needs to do his stop. Oh, and someone's off there at the chicane. Someone's gone wrong. It was Party Pooper. Oh, a slight bump there from Charlie. Says, come on, mate. So Aussie dropping down the order as he comes out the pit lane. He's going to be in amongst this battle. He's side by side already with Andy. Looking to the inside, down in turn 3. And he manages to get the move done. And he's trying to keep up with these boys in front. His next driver is Smokey Devil, who's 9/10 in front of him. And Mike, although looks like he's suffering down in 10ths, he's only 3 seconds away. And I say that, he gets up to 9th, gets on the inside of Charlie there. He's only 3 seconds away from Smokey Devil. Oh, when I say that, and he's run wide. The commentator's curse. And I just think after that first spin, his car has collected a bit of damage. It might not be acting the same. So as these boys head out of the last corner now, to start lap 11. Lap 12, sorry. And Andy trying to look for where he can overtake Smokey Devil. Oh, and Smokey Devil runs wide out of turn 1. And Andy collects him accidentally. He manages to get back going though. got Ozzy Alwi is having a much better race here in the feature. He's currently sat in a provisional third. Obviously, Grandad Steve still yet to pit. I say that, and he's in the pits now. And it looks like John Boy is about to catch up to Ryan, as we can see them both there in your picture. As they head through the chicane, the question is, are they going to catch Grandad Steve as they come into the last corner? Oh, it's going to be close. Grandad Steve comes up just behind John Boy. And John Boy had to brake really late there just to make sure the move was done. But he did run wide out of turn 1. So there we go, everyone has pitted now. We're on board with your provisional race leader just due to Ryan having a 10-second penalty. And Grandad Steve's going to want to try and put a bit of pressure on him now. Force a mistake on John Boy if he can. As these boys have got a 4-second gap over... Oh, John Boy slightly wide there. These boys have got a 4-second gap over Andy and Ozzy, who are further back. Still looking to make a move into the chicane. He thinks better of it, drops back in behind John Boy. We've still got 9 laps to go in this race. So further back. Ozzy will be just trying to defend off Cobb at the moment. With Cobb being chased down by Party Pooper, Charlie and Smoke It Devil. And let's jump on board with Grandad Steve and see what's going on up there at the front. John Boy there just having a bit of a play around. So we've got Cobb trying to make a move on Ozzy Albin now into the chicane. Oh, and Cobb might get the drive into the last corner. And I think he's got it done. There we go. So Cobb's trying to find some pace this evening. He moves up into the top 5. Ozzy's going to try and come back there around the outside into turn 1. There's no space there. So Mike's still down in 10th at the moment as he runs wide there through the left-hander. Manages to keep it on the track though. And this battle for a top 5 position for him really. He's got 5 drivers in front of him. And will he get this move done on Smoky Devil into last corner? No, he decides to think better of it. He's going to try and get a good run down the start, finish straight now. And it looks like we've got a... Oh, John Boy's late on the brakes there into turn 1. He's all over the show. And Ryan's still in the lead somehow. Coming under a lot of pressure though from Grandad Steve and John Boy, who was side by side in his mirrors. Still on the inside with John Boy now going to be on the inside into turn 3. Oh, John Boy's on 2 wheels there out of turn 3. Some phenomenal racing this evening from all drivers. Been brilliant to watch. Andy just sat comfortably in 4th position at the moment. Cobbs managed to get himself up to 5th as we saw he did that move on Ozzy a couple of laps ago. Ozzy still trying to chase down that gap and get away from these drivers behind. I think that's Charlie off in the gravel again. Manages to get back on though. I think Mike is going to get the run on him into the chicane. There we go. So he's dropped down to 9th, unfortunately. Oh, John Boy's ran slightly wide out of turn 1. Gonna see he's going to move inside into turn 3. But is John Boy going to be managed to get round and into turn 4? Yes. Managing to give each other some space there. John Boy's going to be on the inside for this cut through though. Surely, oh, Steve's wide out of there though. Get back on the toe, right, Steve, come on. This is a brilliant battle between these two. The more these battle though, the easier it is for Andy to get back up here and battle for the win again. As we saw in the sprint race, it was Andy, Mike and John Boy battling for the win. Unfortunately, Mike down in 7th this evening. He's having a good battle though. We did see him spin out of the chicane, and that therefore is why he's down here. As we can see, this train of cars going through the chicane. Unfortunately, Connor the only driver not involved and just driving around on his own at the minute. But he's had some quality battles and done some brilliant driving this evening. So Smoky Devil. Oh, and we got a bit of contact there in front. Don't know who that was. I think that was Ozzy who was bouncing off everyone there. As he runs a little bit wide through turn 3. Oh, we've got someone off. Oh, and it's Andy. Andy's had an issue from down in 4th position, sorry. So Andy's not going to be too pleased about that. We didn't manage to see what happened, but it is still these two boys at the front with Ryan setting the pace at the moment. It's just unfortunate that Ryan's got that 10-second penalty, really, because he's been commanding the pace this evening in the feature race, and he definitely deserves a spot on the podium. So these boys looking for different options where they can make moves on each other now. Grandad Steve trying to go to the inside of Ryan into turn 3. It looks like he's got that done. John Boy not able to follow. Oh, and he touched the wheels there. Pulls them both wide. John Boy might be able to make the move into the cut through. And he has to drop behind. So your new race leader is Grandad Steve with only 3 laps to go. Bumper rubbing there between Grandad Steve and Ryan. John Boy nearly got the run, but there was nowhere to go, so he had to slam on the brakes. And John Boy just looks to have dropped off a little bit there. Ryan looking for the move on the inside of Grandad Steve into the chicane. And he's running a little bit wide there. He's going to have to give the move back to Steve, and he does so. Steve going defensive down the home straight now. We've got 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Flash of the lights there from John Boy saying, come on boys, let's go. John Boy is about to get a really good run at around turn 2, but I don't think he's going to have the space or track position to do anything at the moment. Steve's still on the inside, heading through turn 3. Oh, and Ryan's on the outside. Ryan managed to get the move done. Steve's going to drop back down to 3rd. And further back, we've still got that battle for 5th position now. It looks like we've lost some drivers, as Party People trying to defend his way from Aussie Albie. Charlie trying to hang on in there for a possible top 5 position at the end of the race. Cobb's in 8th with Smoky Devil behind him. And then unfortunate scenes for Andy, he's in 10th. And Connor just coming through the 2nd corner now in 11th. Back at the front, Ryan trying to show his command. As we've seen in the feature race, he's led from the start with Grandad Steve and John Boy trying to get away. And what a recovery drive from Mike. He's up to 4th now, so that's been a phenomenal drive for himself. And across the line with 2 laps to go, it is Ryan, Grandad Steve, John Boy, Mike, Poddy People, Charlie, Ozzy, Cobb, Smoky Devil, Andy and Connor. And as we know, John Boy is good through that last chicane. Will we see him pull off a move like we did in the sprint race? Or is someone else going to be able to get a move done early and get away? As we can see, Ryan's got a 10-second penalty, so although he's there on the track, we don't have to worry about too much where he finishes. It's going to be between Grandad Steve and John Boy for the feature race win at the moment, bearing no incidents. And a flash of lights there from Steve. Trying to put Ryan under a bit of pressure. Or whether he's saying, come on, you've got a 10-second penalty, let us through. So into the last corner, we're about to start our last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to get the run into turn one? Is anyone going to try and make a move? It looks like Steve's going for it. He's on the inside. Will he outbrake himself? Ryan's going to try and get the cut back. Touch of doors there. Steve's on the inside through turn two. The slight touch. He's going to be on the inside for turn three as well. Lovely there from Grandad Steve's. Managed to get the move done. Slightly wide out of turn four. But that move was set up on the home straight. So he's just trying to control everything at the minute. Take the inside lines and protect everything. And John Boy's going to be looking for options. Possibly through the chicane again to get a good run into the last corner. Obviously we saw him take the sprint race victory. Can he do the same this evening in the feature race? And take as many points off Mike as possible for that championship battle as we head to Monza for the final round next week, as he's looking to the inside of Ryan now into the chicane. And he backs out of it. Grandad Steve gets through safely. I think Ryan did as well, and John Boy all through there. Flash of lights there from Mike saying well done boys. And across the line to take the victory of the feature race this evening is Grandad Steve. John Boy takes second. Mike's going to take third. I don't know what that 10-second penalty is going to mean. Is Ryan going to keep fourth? No, he's going to drop down the order unfortunately. So it's going to be Party People that takes fourth. Charlie takes fifth. Ryan takes sixth. Aussie Albie's going to come across the line in 7th. Cobb takes 8th. Smoky Devil coming across the line after a battle with Andy for 9th and 10th. And Connor finishing 11th. What a brilliant night of racing we've had here at Motive, ladies and gentlemen, for round 5 of the Clio Cup. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you again on Thursday for the Touring Car Championship. The same time as usual, we will be live from around 8:30. In the meantime, feel free to check out more from Motive Racing on our website, motiveracing.com. Head over to the Discord, join in, have a chat with everyone, get yourself in some lobbies, and then get yourself signed up for the next season. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.